Alright, what's up everybody? It's Wombat. I am back. It is New World Aeternum. I never thought I would be back. It's been a year and a half, but here we are. The game has re-released. It is re-released on console, so it is just a complete re-release of the game. This is sort of what I would call a minor patch or like a season update for people that used to play the game. There's no gigantic earth-shaking changes to the game other than they brought console players in. There are some annoying UI changes that have happened that is mainly just to assist with consoles and people playing on controller. They added aimbot, which is stupid, and it auto locks on. It is a completely unnecessary feature, and I don't think it should be in the game, period. But that's just me. So we are going to talk about whether or not I think you should come back, whether it's worth being here, and just what the general state of the game is right now. So the big thing was the game was dying about a year and a half ago when I left. We were at very low numbers. When I logged back on last week, that was reflected in the numbers. We were at 3,500 total players in the world and 1,200 East Coast. All servers were low pop. There was no reason to play the game. When I logged in today, we were at 55,000 max with 20,000 East Coast, which is really good numbers considering this is just PC. All of the console players, it is now the number 10 selling game on Steam this year from console downloads. So that's where the game is right now. So big numbers, we don't exactly know what they all are yet. I am terrible at PvP while I am talking, so that's why I'm not trying to kill this person right now. But we'll see what happens. They may come after me. So yeah, that's where the game is right now. We are on FFA Island, which is one of the biggest new releases for the game. And it is supposed to be a fun-filled, free-for-all, every man for themselves PvP area that is unlike OPR, where you can run into the 1v5s of pre-mades, and it just sucked because you'd try and fight these groups of people and you couldn't do it solo. And this fixes all of that, but not really. You are still going to run into 5-mans that are in this zone hunting down and killing people for absolutely no reason. There's no point to it. Like, if you find a chest and you loot it, it disappears, so it's not there for everyone else. So if you're in here with other people, you have to split the chests anyway. And if you kill somebody, they drop half of their loot. The other half gets permanently bound to you when you respawn. But only one person can pick up that loot. So doing things solo, you'll actually get things done faster. But I think people just like coming in here and griefing other people who are playing the game, quite frankly. It's kind of a shitty situation because a lot of people that are in here as 5-mans are people that have been playing the game for a very long time. Like people that were playing the game before I left, and now they're just in here just killing people in a 5-man to take their stuff, and it kind of just ruins the whole point of this zone. It's supposed to be every man for themselves, free for all. You're just fighting, and instead you're getting hunted by 3 muskets and 2 people with disables who just hunt you down and kill you. And even though, yes, technically they could be killing each other too, they don't. So it's something I'd like to see Amazon work on adjusting. I don't really know how they would do it. I don't have a good idea as to how they would do it, but it is something that's kind of ruining this aspect of the game for a lot of people. I have no problem fighting 1v1 or 1v2 against basically anyone in the game. I am not the best PvP player by far. I am very just okay, but it does not bother me to fight 1v1, 1v2. I will take those fights all day long. I will win most of them. I will lose some of them. It's okay. But when I'm fighting 1v5 and I can kill 3 people and still lose, that's frustrating to me. It still feels good to kill 3 people and laugh at the fact that you kill 3 people in a 5-man against 1, but it's still an annoyance that I think Amazon needs to address somehow to make this area really what they were hoping for it to be. But overall, it is a fun zone. I do enjoy, the 1v1 combat and the randomness of it. I enjoy the stakes, like you're running around grabbing these things, and if you die, you lose half of it. It adds like a little bit of pressure and, whatever. It adds a little excitement to the game in a PvP mode that you don't have in other ways. Like, you want to keep yourself from dying. If you get a lot of doubloons, you don't want to just die and drop half of them, so it makes it a little more exciting and fun. So overall, I'm giving FFA Island a thumbs up. Good job, Amazon. Now, talking about the FFA Island, the main reason you are here is to get doubloons and 1 golden coconut per week. I'll talk about the golden coconut first. It's super easy to get. You're just going to find it in a chest. It takes maybe 30 minutes of being in the zone before you get it. And you can only get 1 a week. The problem is, it is needed to upgrade every single artifact in the game. So, if you are going to upgrade artifacts, you can only do 1 per week. That is a massive time gate. You can also use doubloons and get 725 gear, but it's completely random. So, you can get a chest piece, for instance, and the chest piece will have, it'll be light, medium, or heavy, and it'll have loot biased drops. But the reality is, it's not loot biased drops. Like, I had my bow set on, and my drops were a medium headpiece that had strength for a bow set. So there's something going on with their loot biasing where it's just not quite working right with those. Also, they use your golden coconut with 1,500 doubloons. And this is terrible. You never want to do this. I did it on accident. I didn't realize I was spending the golden coconut. I just thought I was spending the doubloons. And immediately afterwards, I realized the mistake I made. And that is an entire week that I have to wait to get another one to upgrade any artifact I have now. As a dungeon player and a PvPer, I have 5 sets. And in those 5 sets, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 currently artifacts in 5 sets of gear. So that's 8 weeks I have to wait, plus 1 because I screwed up. 9 weeks just to upgrade my artifacts alone. And that's not counting any of the new artifacts. It's not counting any of the artifacts that I just occasionally use for certain builds. So this is a really big time gate that I think they need to fix. But when you come to Cutlass Keys, there's going to be this thing, and it's called the Well. And you're going to go to this well, and it's where you get all of your doubloon caches. Right, so it's the Well of Fortune. And you're going to go here, and we'll look at the stuff that I just talked about. These are the gotcha boxes. This is what I bought. Just don't do it. Until they eliminate this golden cursed coconut thing from here, it is not worth buying these at all. If it's only 1,500 doubloons, go for it. The other things you're going to be able to do is that you're going to be able to buy a glittering gold key for 5 doubloons. And what you can do with that key is, if you go to this spot right here on the map in Cutlass, I'll zoom out here a little bit. This structure right here, sitting on this ledge outside the PvP zone, and in several other areas, there is a chest. You can unlock it with that key that you just bought and get 500 doubloons. Boom, free 500 doubloons. This area of Reekwater, or of Cutlass Keys, has also been upgraded to an elite zone. And you can do a chest run through this new elite zone. You're going to need people. It is difficult. But with people, you can do a chest run here, and you'll get about 650 doubloons in your chest run through this elite area. So there are ways for PvE players to get doubloons without doing the PvP zone. The key is once per week, so you can only get that 500 chest once per week, but the chest run can be done every day. So don't buy these unless they eliminate this requirement. But one thing you do want to buy is the Gold Cursed Epic Crate. So this Epic Crate can give you an Epic, a Rare, or a Legendary, or Epic Crafting Materials. This Legendary can be level 725. It can also be wire fiber. It was wire fiber for me. Yesterday I got a couple pieces of wordwood. So you open it and it is just so random. Today I got this 688 gauntlet. I got this 698 helmet. Yesterday I got this 725 sword and I got a 725 shield. So it is completely random. I had one day where I just literally got 3 piles of wire fiber. So those are my 3 days of opening. Completely random, but it's so cheap you should do it every day because you can get good items like this. And I mean, this is one off from being this, and I'm using it right now because it's really good. So the doubloon system, I don't love it. It's until they get rid of that golden coconut thing, it's not really a lot of value here. It's already kind of self time gated, because in order to get 1500 doubloons, you're only going to be able to do that if you play for several hours a day and you do the chest runs. You know, you're not going to be able to buy more than 2 of these boxes a day, and you're getting a random light, medium, or heavy, and it's loot biased, but it's not getting you exactly what you want. This is just straight gambling. They should just take this off and let you do your straight gamble and try to get 2 pieces a day at what you want, or make this a daily item, and just get rid of everything else. So doubloon system, big thumbs down for me. Golden coconut, huge thumbs down for me. So the next item we're going to talk about is the raid. So they added a new 10-man raid. It's called the Hive, and it is located down here where this question mark is, I believe. I have gone in there a couple of times, and I just have not gone to it myself, so it's not unlocked. This new raid is hard. It is hard. Sort of. Kind of. And what I mean by that is, if you are a pug trying to pug with other pugs, you ain't getting this done. No. If you are pugging this with other experienced dungeon people, you've got a chance at getting it done. And if you're a good, solid dungeon group that works together well and has done a bunch of stuff in the past, you're going to get it done. It is a 4-hour cap, which is my biggest complaint about it is the 4-hour cap. It resets the entire dungeon after that time, and you can only get loot off of each boss once. So my group killed the first 2 bosses, kind of just going in cold. We watched a video to get sort of the idea of mechanics, but had never done it before. We went in, we killed the first 2 bosses. We got the last boss down to about half before we ran out of time. The problem with that is I got my 4 pieces of loot, and now if I want to go back into the dungeon, I have to start over at the start, clear all the mobs, clear the first 2 bosses. You get no loot from the mobs that you clear. There are 0 drops in the dungeon. You get no loot from the first and second boss now. So on a really good, solid run, it's going to take you about an hour to get to the final boss. So I have to waste, on a good run, an hour to get to the final boss to attempt to get 2 more pieces of loot now and necessary crafting materials. that's kind of shitty. I get that you wanted to kick people out, and again, you're trying to time gate, but let me go back in where I stopped with other people that were in the same position. Give me the option to reset the dungeon, or go back in with a bunch of people who are also at the same spot in the dungeon that I am, if you're going to make it at this difficulty level. I don't want to go back in and do the dungeon again, to try and do the last boss again. And that's where I'm at right now, and there's a bunch of mats you get off of the last boss, which makes you do it, but I really don't want to. And that's unfortunate, because I did enjoy the raid and the learning experience in doing it, but I want to continue where I left off, not start over again. So that is kind of shitty. The bosses, you get 2 drops a piece off of them. The first boss, you get 1 hoplite item, and you'll get 1 Gorgon's item. The hoplite item is going to be 725. It's going to be named, and you're going to be able to re-roll 1 perk. So on this one, for instance, Fortified is the perk I can re-roll. On these pants, which are amazing, the medium set is Health Enchanted Ward. So if you're running good old Featherweight, you're going to be able to get a lot of Health Enchanted Ward X pieces. And mine rolled with Enfeebling Skewer, which is great, because I use a spear build for DPS in the dungeon. So this is just a great piece overall, and if I ever want to, I can re-roll it with these Gorgon Eyes that you get 1 per boss that you kill. So you can get up to 3, and I can re-roll with a Matrix, a Gorgon Eye, a Chromatic Seal, Dark Matter, all the normal stuff you were always able to re-roll a piece of gear with, but now you need a Gorgon's Eye on the 725s. So I could re-roll these to be, Leaping Strike, and use them to replace my current Leaping Strike pants on my PvP set. So really good gear drops, and you're guaranteed one of these hoplite pieces per boss, and it's also loot biased again. So for me, I was running Spear with medium pants, because I had my dungeon set had medium pants, and I was running my Spear Hatchet, and I got medium pants with a Spear perk. Worked exactly right. My second one, again, was medium pants and health, shirking energy, lightning harnessing. Okay. I've got health on these pants, and I can actually use those because I run lightning harnessing on my bow set. So 2 good drops there. The other drops were absolute trash, both of them. So wasted boss, good boss. And the good boss also dropped me my first artifact. Incoming next complaint. I killed a level 725 boss. Why the hell are you dropping me a level 700 artifact that I have to use a special item to level up? Give me the artifact at 725 and make me do the upgrade on it to add the last perk like you always do. But why are you giving me a level 700 item on a 725 boss in a 725 dungeon? Fuck you. But that's it. That's my review of the dungeon. Thumbs up overall, but not great. It's thumbs up for the overall effort and mechanics and time it takes and learning, but thumbs down for making me start over and get absolutely no benefit out of it. Get rid of the trash mobs if you're not going to give drops off of them. It's just a time sink. It's boring. They don't offer a challenge. So if you're not going to give us drops, get rid of them so we can just go in and kill the freaking bosses. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is OPR. OPR was my favorite mode of this game. It was the only good PvP. It was great. Used to queue up with my friends. We'd go in a 5-man, have a healer, just go in, have fun. You can't do that anymore. They have changed the queuing system in OPR so that if you are in a group, you can only have one healer. Now, you say, well, yeah, great, that's awesome. Like, you can't run into the 5-mans that have 2 healers and are completely unkillable now. That's true. The problem is that OPR only allows 4 healers per 20-man team now. So if you were trying to queue as a healer in a group, we sat for over an hour and could not get a queue. If you're trying to queue as a healer solo, you will sit for over an hour and not get a queue. If you try to queue solo, instant queue. So if you're a healer, you're just not playing OPR anymore. And it's really unfortunate because I have friends and all they play is healer, and we can no longer play OPR with them. They have to select tank and then change once they get into OPR to their heal build, but at that point you are limited to 200 focus max if you are not a healer. So that's how they're keeping people from claiming to be a tank or a DPS or a healer. You can only have one tank, you can only have one healer per 5-man team, and so if you try to go 5-man tank, you will be con limited in what you can put your con to if you went in as a DPS or a healer. If you go in as a tank and you try to switch to healer, you will only have 200 focus. You can play as a healer, but you're going to do that with 200 focus. And that's what we've had to do, and it just really nerfs the effectiveness of a healer. And it's just annoying that it doesn't let people play the build they want to play, even if they queue solo. So they've really ruined OPR on that side of things. And I'm not seeing anything about MMR or the matchmaking system at all. There's nothing that comes up when you win a game. The chests still give you level 700 gear with no chance at getting better. So there's basically no point to playing OPR anymore. You can't play with your friends. You're going to go in, and you're going to run into the team that has a 5-man that waited for 2 hours to play and actually got in, and you're going to be up against them with solo, so it's really just making it worse. And there's no, you used to be able to get good gear out of it, even if it was completely random. That's completely gone. I don't see the point in playing OPR anymore, and that's what kept me in this game. And also, it is still the same map from launch. They have not given us a new OPR map. No new OPR modes. It is the most popular thing in the game, and you have not changed it in years. I don't understand what the people at Amazon are doing. So, OPR is the reason I would stay playing this game, and it is currently broken. So if they don't get this fixed in the next couple of weeks, I'm out again. I'm going to be honest with you. I came back, we were playing with low pop, but we were playing OPR with our friends and having fun again, and it was good. If I can't do that and I can't play OPR with my friends, I am not going to stay playing this game. The new raid's fine, but there's no point in doing it after you've cleared it for a week. So, you can only get the loot once a week, so why the hell are you doing it more than that? It's all about OPR. It always has been. They have currently broken it. Fix it, or me and everybody I know that's playing this game right now and are back are going to be out. So that's my review. Should you come back? Yeah, give it a try. The raid's fun. The new FFA area is fun. There are problems. There always have been problems with this game. I think they're addressable problems, and I think the numbers in OPR are going to go up drastically when console players get to level 60, and maybe some of these areas will clear up. It might just be a problem with everyone's doing the free-for-all area and everybody's doing the new dungeon, and there just aren't enough groups queuing to do OPR to allow a 5-man to fit into their matchmaking system. And maybe when you've got 50 OPRs going because you've got all the console people on, that's going to change. But right now, when there's like 3 OPRs going on and you're trying to put a 5-man in, good luck. So hopefully that gets fixed. Come back, give it a try. Give me a like and follow. I'm going to make some new videos just on the new raid once we get a little better at it, with some explanations of what goes on. Maybe some new PvP videos, maybe some videos in the FFA zone, all that sort of stuff. So welcome back, everybody.